Citizens, what's up? It's President Awall here, bringing you some Star Wars Force Arena, and we're going to be doing some 2v2 team-ups. And I know the format's a bit different. This is 720p, it's not my normal 1080p, but I'm doing this on YouTube Gaming, so that I can have live chat going here at the same time. I can take a look, hopefully, at what you guys are saying, and be able to team up with you in some 2v2s. It's the most fun thing about actually making content on YouTube, is playing with you guys and doing this regularly. So I'm just going to fire up a stream in this format. Let me know what you guys think of it. But this is going to be the deck. Hey, sweet, I get to see your chat on the screen. What's up, fam? Sweet, it pops up there. I like that. But this is the deck I'm thinking about using. It's very turret heavy, as you can see. Might be a little bit gimmicky, but I've got a auto blaster turret as well as a mortar turret. But the concept is I have these two turrets as well as the new card, the Awall Engineer, and then I've got 3 mega tanks up front with the MLC-3 light tank, Chewbacca, as well as Wookiee Warrior. Hey, what's going on, Alan, Bond? How you guys doing? Sweet, I like this, that your chat's going to pop up on the screen while I'm doing this. That's pretty cool. So what I like about this is that I've got these 3 tanks up front, I've got the mortars in the back, I've got the repairing the turrets, I've got my trip mines up front, and then I've got that nice area of effect clear up the lane. This deck could either utterly dominate or utterly fail in 2v2, and I think this live stream can help us figure that out. But I want to give Rebel a shot because Empire is so incredibly difficult. What's going on, Orson? What's up, MLG? How you guys doing? I saw your comment, Bon, about your Tarkin deck on the channel. I haven't tested it yet, though. So let me open some packs, and then we're going to just get straight into some team-up 2v2s. I'm going to try to, so you're going to hear the in-game audio through my mic. That's the way that YouTube Gaming works, so the quality might be a little bit lower. But if you guys are good with the audio and video quality, I might do more of these in the future. Do you like the black and white? Yeah, it's classy over here. I'm keeping it so classy with the black and white. I don't know. I can either do that or color, but I feel like the black and white is less distracting when you're trying to see all of the other gameplay that's happening on the screen. Let's go ahead and open up our rewards really quick, get our free pack. And one of the big reasons why we're doing this particular 2v2 thing is I give you guys the advice all the time of we need to do missions, right? You need to do missions in order to get the rewards, and Polar Bear with a minigun would help out. I agree, it would. I need to get 2v2 match for Rebel Alliance 5 times on my basic, and I also need to destroy enemy turrets for the Rebel Alliance for I Can Fix This, so I need to just play some 2v2s to get that done. Let's get our credits, fingers crossed, 500. I feel like, okay, I've only done it twice, but it's been 500 both times. I feel like that's a little bit deflating, just a little bit deflating. Cool. So, looks like everything's going well with the stream. Awesome. So, let's go ahead and get back into it, and hopefully this screen goes away. It should go away in a moment. But anyway, maybe I can flick it up or something. How do you make that go away? There we go. There it goes. Okay, beautiful. Just learning this YouTube gaming interface. But I can see how many people are watching. I can see your chat on the screen. It's actually kind of nice. So we're going to do a 2v2 team up here with this deck. We're just going to see if this gimmicky deck works or not, and we'll make adjustments accordingly. And yeah, we're going to do it. So I am regularly booting people from my guild and then bringing new people in. Not that I want instant queue time. Okay, so nobody's liking to play Rebel right now in 2v2, undoubtedly. And it's not because I'm just booting people because I'm an evil person. It's because people that are inactive for 3 days or longer get booted from Citizens. And then I let people in that have applied or have been sitting on the application list for a while and are really, really interested in playing. This stream chat is right on top of my cards. I will see if I can play through that and see if I can make that work. I'm going to drop down the Awall Engineer here. We need to go defend in this bottom lane. Let's see what we can do. And I'm going to drop down the TIE Fighter here. Let me know if the audio or the video needs a little bit of work or not in this video or as the stream is going on. This is the first time I've used this format. TIE Bomber assassinating me. Wow. Nice queue time, right? I know, it was like instantaneous. So good. I'm going to drop my volume down just a hair and with the realization that I need to defend against this ATST. Gonna do some single target damage against it, and with our healers, let's see if that gives us the ability to stay alive and at least I've got an extremely defensive configuration. Let's see if it helps with my ridiculously defensive configuration or not. So it looks like the top lane's good. Our healers are healing up our structures over here. And we're just going to see where they end up dropping. Oh my gosh, your chats are like right in front of everything I'm doing here. That should be interesting. I've got mortar turret and regular turret here to deal ungodly amounts of mortar damage. So let's see if they're going to be able to push in on this or not. I seriously doubt they will be able to. Going to drop the mine here to take out Dengar. We ended up getting him. We successfully defended, and the mortar did a good job. But yeah, the chat there. Look at that chat, man. I can't relocate the chat in the YouTube gaming app, so this should stay super interesting. Gonna drop Chewy here with the big taunt. Hopefully we'll be able to. There we go. Clear them out. Gonna drop down the healer here, and hey, that was a nice effective defense there, and we'll see if we can do some damage to their structure. Gonna drop my trip mine next to it with the hopes that we just need to flat out take it down. I honestly don't care if I die here. We need to take this out. Beautiful. Now that it's dead, I will try to escape at the very least and defend in this scenario and see if we can keep all of our structures alive. Drop an auto blaster turret here, and as you can see, this is like a hardcore defend, and if you can successfully defend, you should be able to get a really nice counter push in there. We've got 2 auto turrets dropped, so I actually feel pretty good about this one. What do you guys think? Well, no, except for the fact that I'm dead. No. So I'm going to drop down the healing here. I'm going to drop Chewy here for the taunt. They have 2 MTV7 light vehicles, which is not what I want to see at all. Which means if I drop that trip mine right in the middle of them, we should be in fairly decent shape. Gonna drop an auto blaster here in the top lane. I don't know if we're gonna be able to stop this one, actually. They might end up taking this thing out. They got it. They picked it up. So we've got a 1-for-1 turret exchange in this game. And our bottom turret is very, very vulnerable at this point. They might suicide to try to get it. Did they get it? No, they did not. I'm going to try to drop a trip mine here. I'm going to drop a mortar. Oh, they ended up dropping the bomb on top of it. GG. That was a highly defensive strategy there. And certainly your recommendations, drop them in the comments, guys. Your recommendations on what I could do to change out this deck would be super helpful. Let me know. I'm just now building what could possibly be a viable deck. Yeah. Guards, Sand Trooper, Assassins, ATST, Rocket, and Grenade. What's up? How you doing, Urbo? Thanks for joining on the stream. Let's take a look at everybody's decks really quick. They look nearly identical from the enemy team here. They are in the same guild, so they've clearly coordinated on what the best cards are. Both only having 1 healer here with Treadwell Droid. But I feel like I had too many turrets in here, and I probably could benefit from using something like Polar Bear with a minigun to defend against all of those ATSTs that I'm going to inevitably get thrown at me. Bon is suggesting, yeah, the Polar Bear with a minigun here. I should have let Brooke defend, maybe. We'll see what happens here. Whoa, are we frozen? Are we frozen? Wow. You gonna let me back in game, Star Wars? Come on. You can do it. Nope, they are not gonna let me back in game. That's fine. So what I'm gonna end up doing here is just rebooting the game. So come on, let me actually take a look at my desktop here. Let's get Star Wars Force Arena back up and running. Take out the mortar and put in Polar Bear. Okay, fair enough. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. So we'll take out mortar, we'll put in Polar Bear, and we will re-queue. I think you guys are giving me some good advice there. Beautiful. Let's do it. I mean, I'd like to pick up some W's with Rebel, but a lot of the time, you know, a lot of people have felt that Rebel have been under-equipped to be able to be viable or not. I don't know. I don't totally disagree with that. Let's drop Polar Bear with a minigun here, dropping the cost down just a hair, and we'll see if this configuration ends up working for us. Team up 2v2. Citizens, hop in the game with me. Let's see if we can make it happen. Chess PR, hopping on top of it. Another Erodium 2-star. Yes. Big hugs. Thank you very much. Rebels don't work for you in 2v2s. Maybe they won't work for anyone. You think the healers are useless, but maybe it's just you? I don't know. I'm trying out the healer. I felt like the healer might be really strong, especially if both of your allies or both of you end up having turrets in your configuration, it could be incredibly useful. Let me know if you can hear in-game sound or not. If you cannot hear in-game sound, I will crank it up a little bit. I want to make sure I get it right. So I'm going to leave it right here. Let me know if this is high enough or low enough or whatever. I want to make sure that you guys can actually get a pretty decent experience. Oh, thanks for shooting me, bro. I want to make sure you guys can get a pretty decent experience when you're watching these live streams. Okay, so we're going to throw a couple tanks up here in the top lane. I'm going to drop down Polar Bear with a minigun, and I might just roll with this one and see what we can do. It doesn't look like they are doing much to defend. I've got a lot of very, very, very high HP units here in tow. So this should be interesting. I'll drop down Chewbacca in case they end up throwing some kind of big counters here, but I'm going to end up picking this one up, absolutely. And they've got a lot of repair droids here. Come on, let's use the X-Wing. And the X-Wing should take them out. There they go. And we're going to end up picking up top turret, but they completely steamrolled us here in the bottom. So it was basically a completely counter strategy. So I'm going to drop down Trip Mine in the middle of the mix here and see if we can kill this Krennic. Got him. We ended up saving our structure, and it looks like they might end up saving theirs. So this is going to be interesting. Keefe, I accepted you in our guild today. I know you've been requesting so much to be a part of our guild, and I really wanted to give you the opportunity to make that happen, so I accepted you today, and I'm really excited to have you. I know you're a big fan of the channel and the whole nine, and you're always in our live streams and what have you. I wanted to accept you, man. Congratulations. I just want good people in the guild. I don't care if you're Kyber or whatever. Like, I just want people that, oh, that little pick off there. I just want people that are good people, that are going to be active, that are going to be a part of this community for a while, that it makes sense to kind of invest in them, if you will. Let them in the guild, help them out, team up with them, all that good stuff. And I am getting just crushed a little bit here. So I'm going to drop down Polar Bear with a minigun here, but with that attack speed, they will be able to take out our ATST pretty quickly. Need to clear most of this out with the X-Wing. Heal that turret. Yeah, and they're healing on the back line here with those Weds pretty effectively. I'm going to drop down our healer as well. Krennic, die. Gotcha. Gotcha, Krennic. And I need to be very... Oh, come on. The MTV-7 light vehicle kept targeting me there. And I think I need to apply a little bit of pressure to their base. Otherwise, they can kind of go all in on ours. So we're going to drop down some units here in the top lane. And we're going to try to take this Krennic down. Here we go. I'm going to drop down my Trip Mine here. And I'm going to drop Polar Bear with a minigun. Should be able to take Krennic out. Beautiful. And I'm going to drop down Turret here in the top lane to clog this thing up, to prevent further pressure down this lane. Gorgeous. And my objective at this point is to keep Polar Bear with the minigun alive so that we can continue to push this pressure up. With Polar Bear with a minigun, I can be very, very, very dangerous. And yeah, he only dropped blades there, which actually probably was his best option. And I'm going to see if I can continue this pressure. Just drop a little mine there, because I know that's going to end up being a critical spawn point for him. And see if we can take this structure down. Here we go. Actually, I'm going to kill the droids. We're just straight up going to use our X-Wing on this and see if we can get it. We're in overtime. If I can get this... No! It was so close. It was so incredibly close. And they almost are getting the pick on our base. And unfortunately, we're gonna just see... Actually, we're going to have to try to defend here. We're going to do our very best to defend. So they're just going all-in suicide style on our base. And... I dropped the turret. I dropped the Polar Bear with a minigun, which is drilling everything. Is this a draw? Whoo, that was close. That was a really, really, really intense game. And you guys were right. Polar Bear with a minigun is a really, really solid pickup. Hold the line. Can you guys hear in-game sound properly? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys can see it or hear it properly. Be curious to know. Cool. Looks like the stream is going pretty well so far. Just checking it out. This is kind of a new setup for me, as you guys know. It looks like this Microman player did not have an ATST in his deck, which is not really characteristic. And it looks like folks are only wanting to do like one healer at a time. The Chewie, I don't feel like is going to be doing much work for me here in this configuration. You can hear it loud and clear. Awesome. The Chewie doesn't look like it's going to be doing much work for me here. I'm considering swapping out Chewie with something else. Chewie is just, it's not, I don't know. I rarely see the value out of Chewy that I need to see from him to feel like I really got my money's worth for 5 cost. I feel like there's so much else that I could potentially throw in the deck. So I'm gonna think about throwing in something else for Chewy. Your suggestions are welcome. Drop some healers on. Put on some flesh. I don't understand what that means. Alright, perfect. So let's see what we can do to pull Chewy out. Chewy, like, so what? Chewy's dropping a big taunt here, whatever. Not really doing anything for me, in my opinion. And look at this. I'm trying to click the screen, and it's not working. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's good stuff. So now we've got to drop Force Arena again, and we've got to hop back in game. Arr. You had 5 draws yesterday on your way to Kyber. Interesting. Just because of all of the building healing units, huh? That's interesting. It looks like this YouTube gaming app is making my game freeze a little bit from time to time, making it difficult for me to click the screen. Good to know. I like the fact that I can play and look at my tablet, though, and see all of your comments. It's pretty cool stuff. Alrighty then. So what we're going to do is remove Chewy. And then what could we put in here that's going to perform very, very consistently in this deck? That's a question that we need to answer. And right now I don't have as much area of effect clear as I would want, so I'm going to throw Grenadier in here. So I essentially have one area of effect clear with X-Wing. I've got one area of effect clear here with Grenadier. And I have, as much as I like X-Wing, I actually prefer Ion Mine. So I'm going to throw that in there. This is a deck I'm a bit more comfortable with. I like it a lot. You guys are suggesting that I throw in Bantha. Bantha's a 5 cost. It's unbelievably slow. I don't know. Do you guys feel like it's really worth it to throw Bantha in your deck here? You guys tell me. I'm not sure if it's worth it. It's so incredibly slow. Pod drop is a good against opposing healers. That's a really good point. I might consider doing pod drop. Yeah. But the question is, what would I pull from my deck right now in order to do pod drop? That's kind of a tough question to answer. I may do a swap like this with pod drop then. That might look like something that could perform a little bit more consistently for me. Yeah, I think that actually looks pretty good. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and test this one out. Let's do some team up. Pulling Chewy out of my deck again. Bantha is garbage. Drop pod. Okay, got it. You guys want drop pod. Gluten Slayer likes Bantha. Well, I respect Gluten Slayer quite a bit, as you guys know. So, I just need to practice with Bantha, I think. You're at 4,700 with Bantha. Interesting. Okay. Player has left the match. They saw that I was teaming up. They saw that I was queuing up, and they ended up, they ended up having to leave. I'm that intimidating. You know how it works. If it didn't get affected by stuns, Bantha would be good. Right. No doubt. It's so slow, though. The 1.2 movement speed is just intensely slow. Alright, let's see what we can do here, citizens. Let's see if we can win some 2v2 matches. Is there any space in my guild is the question. I just cleared out 3 slots today and just let 3 more people in. So I'm letting anywhere between 3 to 7 new people in every week. So always trying to get new people in. Let's see what move they end up making. Are they going to drop? They're going to drop a dewback in that lane. That's fine. I'm going to drop a pod just right on top of their stuff. Just for fun. See what happens. And it looks like they're going to make a big push here in the bottom lane. Fine with me. We'll drop some tanks there. And as they get a little closer, we'll drop the turret. And this is going to be a great time for me to use something like an Ion Mine. My favorite area of effect clear. I'm hitting back. Hitting backwards about 17 times there. Didn't go backward at all. Just stood around and shot stuff. So that was unfortunate. That was not what I wanted at all. Whatever. I'm going to see if I can maybe wade into the pack of this 2 billion vehicles here and see if I can get any work done there. And no, just trying to get actually a little pod drop going. The pod drop did not work out. This is more MTV-7 light vehicles than I think I've ever seen in my entire life. It's pretty ridiculous, actually. Gonna drop pod on top of their stuff, and they've got Sniper here in the mid lane. Actually, Sniper is an interesting decision in the mid lane. This is somewhat of an advanced strategy. You think that Bantha with Adrenal is an interesting combo? Could be. I have not tested that one, but that could end up being an interesting combo. And we'll just go ahead and drop down our Ion Mine on top of all of this and see if we can do some significant damage. And this Bosk is going to be problematic, and we don't really have much of an answer to this extreme mob that they're throwing our direction. This is just so much mob, and this, friends, might be the reason why queue times are fantastic if you want to play as Rebel, and they're horrible if you want to play as Empire. It just is so much more viable to play the Empire than it is for Rebel. Let me know if you guys are seeing that. But just the amount of vehicles and the amount of firepower they're able to just throw at us with regular units is just, it's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty intense. So let's go ahead and drop down Ion Mine here. Continue to do some damage. But we are just getting torn up. This is just straight up getting torn up here. And I'm trying to take out these enemy leaders as much as possible. But they are just total mobbing us. Death Squad leader so incredibly powerful. Look at that. And you know what? I would play Empire 2v2 in this particular live stream. But why? My queue time will be like 25 minutes. That does not sound fun. I tried doing that on a live stream the other day, and it was not good. The double sniper combo is really solid. You think 1v1 Rebels have the edge, and 2v2 Imperials have the edge. GG. That was just a complete steamroll. We had no chance on any level of making anything happen there. Let's take a look at their decks. Dewbacks, as well as MTV-7 light vehicles. No ATSTs, which is why Polar Bear with a minigun is just not really that interesting to me. Yeah. Polar Bear with a minigun is great against ATSTs, but what if they don't have ATSTs? Then you're not really in a position where it's making sense to have a Polar Bear with a minigun. So maybe we need to adjust our deck a little bit. We're trying to figure out how to make Rebels work in 2v2. That's the objective here right now, is to see what is going to work. Is Bantha going to work? I don't know. You guys are saying Bantha plus Hyper Adrenal can be a thing. Okay. Perhaps. Yeah. Your repair engineers waste themselves repairing your defense turret and die rather than repairing the towers. That is very true. We do need them to repair the towers. That is the majority of the value that they're bringing to the table there. It sure is. Okay, let's try swapping out the healers and swapping out the turrets for that matter, and seeing if we can do a more traditional deck, I suppose. A more traditional defensive deck. Drop Pod's interesting, but Drop Pod doesn't really get that much work done. It really doesn't. So we're going to do maybe a Pathfinders here. And now I've got all of the basic tools that I need to be able to take on most enemies. It's the basic tool set. I've got 2 tanks, I've got 2 single target damage, I've got 2 area of effect, and I've got 1 tower. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good solid configuration. I think it might be able to more effectively defend than what I had before. Okay, let's see if it can do it. Certainly Chewy is not something... Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't know what just happened, but that was not what I wanted to do. Perfect. Team up 2v2. Let's give it yet another shot. Let's give these Rebel 2v2s... Let's give these Empire what's for. The drop card kind of lies, actually, says Alan. It drops warriors plural, but it only drops 1. It would be cool if it dropped plural warriors. Be easier to... well, actually, it'd be easier to clear them out if they get dropped on you, because they'd probably have lower HP in that case. Warhawk has rejoined the game. Wow. Stun Grenade is super effective against Empire tanks and Dewbacks. Scott Ian, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. Alright, let's do it. I can barely see my own, and I took our own health. That was unbelievably dumb for me to take my own health. Alright, here we go. We are going to see pressure in the top lane, and it should be fun. So this is a deck that I'm going to be generally more comfortable with than those other ones, which were more like gimmicky kind of decks. Double Ion Mine! Double the damage, double the fun with these Ion Mines. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, interesting. We might have a little bit of a push going here in the top lane. Strategy switch. I'm sure that they'll be able to very effectively defend. They've got Darth Vader here. They'll be able to get a pull on us. Most of my units here... Oh, double X-Wing strike. Trying to pick it up. And there it is. There's the Vader pull, and there's the instant slaughter. But Vader ended up winning there. What's a good Rebel 1v1 defense deck? I'd be happy to show that to you once we get into a 1v1 live stream. Cool. Let's just drop a turret here as well. I think they're probably gonna continue to do a pressure here. Let's see if we can pick up this. We did. We ended up picking up the kill there on our friend Boba Fett. One of my favorite heroes in the game. Okay, so we're doing a good job at defending. Now that we're not doing these gimmicky things, we're ending up doing a good job at defending. They're going to continue doing these double X-Wing runs, which, in the case that I have higher HP units, which I do, is going to work out. Oh, the Ion Mines, just dropping so much freaking Ion on top of them. And Vader, I don't know what Vader is doing there. I guess he's just trying to get the quick kill on me. For some reason, my Gregorians didn't target Vader there. They ended up switching targets, I think, because he dropped another unit, which is unfortunate. Those rebels would have, like, insta-killed him had they just turned on Vader. Turn on Vader! It's a good decision to turn on Vader, I promise. Always a good decision. So we've got so many Rebel Pathfinders here. Let's see if Vader ends up getting really aggressive in this situation and moves in on this, because the Pathfinders will... Oh, what's even happening right now? Like, my character just ran into the battle. I didn't even click over there. I don't even know what happened. Now they're going to pick up the turret. GG. Just that one little weird eccentricity that happened there is going to result in us losing the game. Because I wasn't alive to defend. That is really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. And I don't know. Ion Mine was on cooldown there? I don't even know what's going on. Okay, perfect. Let's get back in the game here. These strikes really aren't making it happen for them. So let's see if we can take Vader out. Yeah, that happens to you guys too. So it's not just me, where like my hero just runs towards their turret. Didn't even click. I don't even know how that happened. But this thing has a sliver of health, so they're going to pick this up here, and it's going to be GG. My ally, unfortunately, had to defend in the bottom lane. Was unable to handle the top lane because of that death. And that is going to be a loss. Turret destroyed. So far, so not so good with Rebels in 2v2. It's proving to be extremely difficult. Yeah, one little lag, one little bug, you lose the game. That's just the way it is in this game. But so far, playing as Rebel and doing some sort of viable strategy as Rebel is pretty difficult. That's why Rebel Q is instant and Empire Q is 5 minutes right now. I'm trying to make Rebel work, because if I can make Rebel work, then I can potentially be running a ton of games and have a high win percentage. One time you faced off against an untargetable dewback trooper. Wow. Untargetable dewback. That sounds really, really awful. I'm sorry to hear that, Cyber Cheese. That sounds absolutely horrible. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Do we need to make any changes to this deck in order to be able to push in on the enemy base? Or should I just keep swap turret for engineer? I suppose that is an option. That's actually not a bad idea. Something like that. So the engineers can just stick around in the back, heal up stuff. Meanwhile, I have all the other tools I need to push the lane forward. That's actually not a terrible idea at all. That's not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and run that idea. Let's see if we can make that work. The turrets themselves aren't quite as useful anymore, right? Because enemy Empire decks are not necessarily running ATSTs. You guys are saying put Chewie in the deck is the suggestion here from Dan Hill. Is that what you're saying? Because Chewie gets like no work done. He like sits down, he taunts everything, he dies, nothing happened. Like awesome, he's dead in 2 seconds. I don't know, I just feel like in theory, Chewie taunting a giant pool of units is something that might be useful, but it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually do anything to help you. He just taunts stuff, and he's like, well, things have been taunted. I'm glad we're all happy that that just occurred. Excellent. Taunting's occurred. Alright, cool. So let's see if we can pick up a kill here on Krennic. Krennic getting very, very aggressive. I'm just going to drop an engineer here early game. And I'm also going to drop a little mine here in case they end up sliding past and deciding to get a bit more aggressive. I always like dropping a mine kind of a little bit further back on the back lines. I'm sure that Vader is going to attempt. I'm going to try to get a kill on Krennic, actually. That's why I did that. I'm going to attempt, try to get a kill on Krennic and clear out the majority of their units. This healer, he's ready to heal, baby. He was born to heal. Are they going to continue to pressure this lane or not? We shall find out in this week's episode of trying to make Rebels work for 2v2. Who will die? Who will win? Whew, that reaction time was a bit slow there, but I ended up escaping. I thought the healing would be refreshed in that moment. It was not. Let's see if we can push in here, but these Vaders are so incredibly effective at defending. Let's see if we can pick up a kill. Ion Mine. Ooh, dropped his unique right there next to me. Ended up getting the kill. My Grenadier, though, should be able to defend. Yep, was able to defend pretty effectively there. Can I drop my tank inside the ditch? Perhaps. I'm going to drop down one more engineer, JIC. They ended up getting some decent pressure going here. And that was an interesting light tank placement. I feel like the light tank is now going to run up the middle lane because of that placement. Is what it is. Going to drop down the Rebel Grenadier here as well. And, oh no, the bottom lane, guys. No. Bottom lane. Damn. That is horrible. And, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's bad. Bottom lane got wrecked. Even though the healer was there, I had top lane covered. Unfortunately, that didn't result in the bottom lane being covered. That's going to be... Well, we got a turret. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We could still come back from this. It's now a relatively even matchup. Let's see what happens. Let's take out the Death Squad troops and see if we can move forward with this thing. And going to drop down some Pathfinders here as well. Let's see if we can... we're going to wait for the Ion Mine to come off of cooldown. Big old Ion Mine doing unlimited amounts of damage to everything. And it looks like they're rolling into our base. So I'm going to drop down a Rebel here and come back and defend against this thing. I really cannot afford to have them getting another pick on us.